I guess it starts from middle school, just by looking at middle school sports right now.
Participation.
Participation, yeah. You see a lot more kids in the cafeteria than outside. And they're just playing Minecraft or Call of Duty in the middle of the cafeteria and just screaming.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hou Show. My name is Riley McDermott, and sitting beside me is my co-host and inspiration for the name of the show, Ryan Ho.
What's up?
So not only do we have Ryan Ho here, but also joining us once again on the podcast is Spain Park Middle School alumni, a varsity baseball and basketball player, and certified midget, Grayson Mashburn.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Thanks for being back again. Can't seem to get rid of you. So we're gonna get right into this podcast by talking about, well, it's just a free talk, but what the topic of today is ISB Sports and school spirit in general. So let's start off by talking about the current state of ISB Sports in your opinions, guys. What do you think we're at right now?
Well, we won two APACs this year in boys swimming and
Girls volleyball.
Girls volleyball. So
That was pretty nice.
It was nice. I mean, I think there's better things in the future, though.
I think there's still room for improvement.
For sure. I mean,
we came last in some.
If you look at some of the years, like back way back when, they're bringing 5 or 6 a year, and so you should get back to that.
Back to our glory days.
Yeah.
Back to the back-to-back championships.
Yeah, but in terms of the sports that we're most known for, so swimming, at least we're keeping it good there.
I mean, I think that's for right now, for sure.
Yeah, bounce back from what did we get in swimming last year, like 7th or 8th, and bounce back and get a first place, but then fell apart in basketball at APAC, so we got to bring that back. But then we got some new improvements in the areas that we weren't really known for before in baseball. Yeah, credit us three with that, and Nathan as well.
Nathan for getting injured in the first
getting
game.
injured in the first game and then not doing anything. So I want to talk about what do you think is different now than past ISB team? What do you think they excelled at and that just fell apart? Where do you think it fell apart to? Just want to ask that question and put it out there on the table in front of you to answer.
For me?
Yes, for anyone.
Well, I think it's just like the we had a lot of good athletes. Daniel Eichelberger and
Malachi.
Miss Cheeky, and then Johansson. So like guys that did track, but also played basketball and volleyball guys too. Just kind of like were able to carry their teams and
all around studs.
Yeah, just that was back from like 2012 to 2014, and they were just bringing in APAC championships all the time. And I don't know, I feel like this core of ISB athletics is just not there right now.
Kind of diminished.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the culture of our school too.
It's changed.
Yeah,
there's a lot less participation in sports tryouts, and you just see the numbers drop.
And the energy also in the crowds and like just the energy around the sports, it just has kind of died down since then. Except for I think the exceptions being Great Wall Shootout, and anytime we host anything basketball related, then the energy is pretty high.
Yeah, I guess it's easier for people to go watch basketball and people understand it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty familiar game.
That's probably the problem with baseball is that
and other sports too.
Yeah. That you're unfamiliar with the sport, and then it's harder to relate. And then
it's kind of too
people
far.
lose interest too early without even trying to understand it.
Yeah, our field's on the other side of the classroom, so people are too lazy to walk out there. Just too lazy.
Yeah, this is the furthest place away from any classrooms. Like they're intentionally trying to make it so nobody can ever watch our games or ever feels like they want to watch our games. Which is, we need to change that maybe in the future.
Yeah. We're I mean, that's just kind of transition into where do you think we're going right now? Do you think it's positive, flatline, or are we
for ISB, for school sports in general, or just for baseball?
Both.
I think for baseball, definitely we are in a rebuilding phase this year, and I think next year we have, with all the other schools, losing Pudong losing 9 seniors and whatever, CA losing Bavesh and basically every whatever, their only good player. Let's be honest. Let's just put it out there. We probably have a chance to compete at least with Hong Kong. In terms of sports in general, I don't know. Participation has gone down, and people are losing interest. And, it's just maybe not as attractive to people, new, prospective parents and students coming into the school. Maybe that's driving them away. Is that loss of energy and loss of participation? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think your core group is always in your seniors, right? And this senior class does not care.
Yeah.
they aren't represented on many teams or many varsity teams. They have not really, to be honest, led. And when you're there, you have to encourage people who are thinking about playing to play, and that your team right now is to play harder, and it's not there. So.
We had one senior for basketball.
Yeah.
Shout out to Odin.
Shout out Odin, man. Shout out Odin.
But seriously, we had one senior for basketball. There's just not enough senior representation, and they're supposed to be the leaders and the role models, as well as the juniors, the whole upper class. But the seniors especially are supposed to set that example. And I don't think they didn't put forth their best foot this year.
I guess parents also play a role in how in the participation aspect. A lot of parents don't really want their kids to go out there, spend too much time on sports, and just they'd rather that their kids stay at home and study.
Yeah. I think that's it's some teachers too. Not trying to call any teachers out, but even on no homework weekends, they're
just still
assigning homework, and it's
we're finding loopholes. Okay, can I address this? This kind of pisses me off. They always find loopholes. Okay, so if they say no homework weekend, that means they say, okay, no homework can be done over the weekend. But if you do this homework before the no homework weekend starts.
Or do it after.
Or do it after. Yeah, that counts. But you still have to do this, and I intended it to be done this week. It's just that there's no homework weekend. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's not super important. But the teachers, they don't have a positive mindset. Even when sports are being hosted at ISB, teachers are not
reluctant
really,
to let students out.
Yeah, I guess Mr. Monroe and Ms. Ruth are trying to promote, how they, during Great Wall Shootout, they changed the schedule.
That one's good.
That was a good idea.
And that's why everyone would actually be able to come out. A lot of us always ask our teacher during APACs or China Cups, oh, can we go watch? And either we have tests or we have this assignment, that assignment. You can't go out and support.
I think. The schedule change that's coming next year with the Dragon Time?
Dragon Time?
Yes, the Dragon Time. What they're changing that to fit in more sports, right? To increase sports participation, kind of. And then just to overall just remove, some of that time and make some free time and clear people's schedule that time. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a step in the right direction. Changing, that could be used as, not as an excuse, but participation could be down because people are looking to get clubs in or CAS hours in from clubs, right? And then if they have their sports requirements, they don't need to play any more sports, even if they may want to play a sport.
Well, you don't need sports for CAS, though. You can just do it.
Yeah, you don't.
Personal fitness or whatever. You don't really have.
But that's
to
easy.
Sport, but
people do use that.
It's easier for CAS.
But with the Dragon Time, I think it is a step in the right direction in getting people more involved, and then people realize, hey, maybe I should be playing a sport because I don't have anything else to do, and then going out and then getting better, and then just improving that environment and that surrounds our sports culture and just making it better.
Yeah. We just had this stress week, right?
Yeah.
And I think like the academic pressure is just high, especially in the school, and then
We'll be talking about that on our next episode.
For them to go out and just with this Dragon Time move it so kids can go play sports, because to be honest, like sports are a pretty good way to unwind.
It just takes your mind off of everything else that's going on.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Also, Minecraft or Call of Duty in the middle of the cafeteria and just screaming. And like, I don't see that kind of energy on the field or whatever in any kind of middle school sports. So,
I mean, for sure.
Yeah, I guess it starts when you're small. And, starting a sport when you're younger. Generally, when you grow up, take it into high school, you'll see more participation, more interest in this. Because it's harder to start developing new players in high school in new sports.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there, Ryan. I think it starts from the bottom and works its way up, because like little kids, like myself as a little kid, like yeah, baseball's fun. Like I enjoy playing, I enjoy going, and as you grow up and you start to grasp the game more, you get a love for whatever sport you're playing or the game that you're playing. And so I think if people are just starting to play in high school, then that enjoyment's not really there.
Yeah, because if you're starting at high school, the level of competition is already there. So for a beginner to try to have fun in already existing level competition, that's hard.
Yeah.
Unless you're really talented and really athletic.
It demotivates them. Like if you're bringing like they want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
But then other people are serious about the sport. I mean that kind of takes away for them their enjoyment. But then again, you have to have that serious component, because it is competitive. High school sports are competitive.
It matters.
Relatively.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to having enough participation though allows you to have those like multiple teams, right?
Yeah.
And then we all know like some teams are just less serious than others, but that's fine. If these people are learning at their own pace, while these people are going on to be competitive and competing competitively, but then these people are both of them are still enjoying each other still enjoying their time because they get to do what they want in their own team. So
Definitely.
So I want to move on probably completely over to baseball, because as we did host APAC Baseball this year, so let's talk a little about that, how that went. I think overall a pretty good effort. Like I heard some people say like our showings weren't that good, but like I think it's a lot more than what we've seen in the past. I think it's a good step.
It's better than last year's China Cup when barely anyone came out to watch. And I guess a lot of times it's just the teachers, and especially like when we tell our friends to come out, they'll usually just come out when there's a study hall because their teachers won't let them. And even though we did a lot of promotional stuff this season,
I did think that.
Yeah, it definitely helped raise awareness that we have a baseball team and there is baseball going on in this school, and we're not that bad. With the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it helped.
Yeah, I think it generated some excitement for sure. And I don't know, as a first year guy here, I didn't know what to expect, and I mean, it's pretty solid, and I think we can build on it. Especially like, I don't know, people want to come see your team win, right? I mean, that's part of the reason they come to watch. And so, I mean, coming up short in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and then showing what we did this year, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think it's gonna be there next year too.
I think like every year my brother was here, I think they either got 6th or 7th place, right? Our last 2 years, our sophomore and freshman year, 6 and 7, right?
I think
so. Just making that jump from 6th, 7th place to third place, that was just great for us. Just a real motivator for next year.
And I think the main thing with our team and our audience is the understanding of how baseball works, because it's not really popular here. You don't really get the culture of it. People don't really know how baseball works and who's on whose team even.
I find it kind of weird though, because our school has a large Korean population, right?
Yeah.
How big baseball is in Korea and in Japan and those other Eastern Asian countries, right? So you'd think that there may be some following around baseball here, and that's just not the case. Though.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of teachers that watch baseball, and you know, they know how it works, you know. But like the students, even like American students, they don't really know. Even though baseball is such a large part of American culture, many American students here don't really know how it works, and it's just the culture's just not there.
They're just probably so detached from American culture that they don't really, they grew up on the other values like Asian values, so then they kind of forget about like those sports over there. Because you also see American football, right?
Yeah,
not big at all.
Yeah, especially in Asia, just nowhere.
Yeah, going along with that step in the right direction, and like I think it's like the attendance. I mean that's great, but it's also like a lot of our team to like focus in. And I think in the past it's for y'all it might have been like we don't have that much talent, or we don't think we're gonna do good. Or
yes, it was the development process.
It was not only that, but like and we're gonna call out last year's team because that was
horrible.
Okay,
it was just not a good experience playing baseball.
Yeah, when you go from that kind of experience, which just utterly sucked, to like this one, it's just uplifting.
Yeah. And then even for those guys who might not love the game or might not enjoy it as much as us, have like they're like okay, like we're competitors now, so. I think it's gonna drive our team to do better, and we've set high goals and high standards for next year, and so I think it's a big part.
Yeah, seeing success and hope, I think really motivates players to step up their game more and just try better, because you already see that you can reach this goal. You just have to work instead of being before last year. Nobody sees any hope on our team. Everyone's just there to be there. So I think seeing this result and improvement really helps motivate players and just the school in general.
Okay, I want to jump back to before baseball. We were talking about what we did for baseball, the promotional stuff, right? And I want to talk about the other sports. So these are like some things that could help in the future for promoting an event, because we see it now a lot more. Like we didn't used to see a lot of advertisement going on because people knew about it, right? They were going to be there either way. But now like there's kind of that need to promote an event and to like build awareness for it, because people have lost interest and you need to regain that interest. So like what do you think's the biggest steps for that, Ryan?
For promoting?
Yeah, for promotional stuff.
Filmism's like a big part of it.
Yeah, Filmism usually just does the after videos and for the events, but I think one of the main promotional, I guess, is just telling your friends and seeing if they can actually come. Getting those videos in. Yeah, sure. You're letting the rest of the school know that this event exists, but actually getting people to take their time from class and asking their teachers takes more than just a video or a few posters. And I think motivating them and persuading people to come is actually, I guess,
a bigger part.
Yeah, a bigger part to promotion, getting more audience and attendance.
Yeah, I think we kind of like started this trend, to be honest. Like,
yeah, you could see I'm not calling out the basketball. The basketball posters were definitely modeled after something. Okay, like let's be real.
Yeah, but I think like it generated some hype and excitement the way that it was produced, and I think we took inspiration from different places, like college baseball teams. We think that's cool, so we kind of brought that into our own work, and then it kind of went from there. And now, like, I mean, you see like hype videos for the basketball team now, and yeah, I think it's important to get some excitement.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, okay. Now that that's done, I'm gonna jump back onto the baseball thing, and just talk about next year. we talked a bit about the future, but I want to go more in detail into next year.
In APAC Baseball?
Yes, APAC Baseball. I have the results here for every APAC Baseball winner and runner-up from since 2003.
ISB's only
as you can see,
runners-up once.
Nope, runners-up
Twice.
3 times, actually.
3 times?
2005, 2007, and 2012.
Right.
We lost every time. So we can't really learn from these that are so long ago. I mean, we haven't made it there since 2012. How do you think we're going to get back on that path?
Well, it definitely takes hard work. Getting to the finals is not easy, but with just seeing how the level of competition is really dropping, just how much talent's really going away from APAC.
It's good for us, yeah.
It's good for us. Yeah, and I guess if we work hard, maybe we'll win. But it takes time.
I mean, really, there's only. I mean, as we can see, we're just based on predictions. We never really know how a team's gonna shape out, but there's just only like 3 teams really contending for next year.
When you see like, some teams like HAS, they have, even if they lose a bunch of seniors, they have a good farm system built to back that up. Our school does not. I can just blatantly say that. Pudong does not.
Pushi does not.
Pushi does not. CA is too small.
Not really.
Brent has been a major rebuilding phase. They haven't been good since when? 2016?
2016, yep. And they won back-to-back championships.
From 2014 to 2016. So when you look at that and you see that we're at the peak of our rebuilding phase, because who knows where it's going to go after we graduate? Who knows where it's going to go after
Grayson graduates.
The class of 2021 graduates. But for now, we see we're in a good position. And we have to take advantage of it. And then that starts with getting work off in the off season, right?
Yeah, honestly, there's not a lot of time in season. It's just less than 2 months.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of breaks. We have a lot of breaks during that period, and there's a lot of schoolwork. With all the college apps going on and stuff. In season, you can't really rely on in season training to do anything for you. It's just really build team chemistry, getting the team working together.
Not to call anybody out again, but there's those people who don't really care, with nothing else going on in their lives, still don't really care. They claim to want to compete in season, but they don't want to put in the work off season. What do you think about those people who don't really show up when they're needed and just there
I
for
guess
the
they
results?
just don't like this game enough. They don't feel the need to, and maybe they enjoy winning and saying that they're varsity, they're a varsity athlete. Yeah. Oh, look at all these cool posters of me in APAC. So I guess they do enjoy this part, but maybe they don't enjoy the grind and just the process of getting there and just spending extra time. And
definitely.
They're not into it, It's just,
You said liking. I mean, it doesn't even. For us, it's love of the game. But for others, it doesn't even have to be love of the game. It could be like a competitive drive, right? Like just you don't even care if you're on the bench. You just want to win, and then you want to help your team do whatever it takes to get to that position, to put you in the position, and give you an opportunity to win. And then just you see with us, it's just not happening.
I mean, I like what you're saying. What it all boils down to is simply the culture here, and I think every team can set its own culture or whatever. And I think the young guys in the team are there. I mean, guys rising next year. I mean, y'all are out there, but there's some who aren't. But I feel like guys in my grade, they have high expectations with me, and they're not always out there all the time because they might be preoccupied with other things, but. They definitely want to win, and they definitely want to help us get to the position we want to be in.
I can see the drive being more prominent when you're younger too. When you're in 9th and 10th grade, and then the academic pressure is not as severe. I'm not saying it isn't there, but it's not as much, we can say. And then it just kind of it's once again just kind of demotivator. It just sucks the energy out of you, right?
Yeah, it's kind of middle school too. I mean, like having a middle school baseball team, that's how
It's-
David
yeah.
got into baseball
Yeah.
and all. And I get it's pretty good to have a middle school baseball team, but it's they could do better into building interest of these players into the sport and just making it more fun for them.
Yeah,
It kinda
like-
starts there.
Like this better.
I mean,
The
I got
people-
out there a couple times, and
Yeah.
there's good participation.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not sure that
Their
these
interest
kids
is not
want to
there.
be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They don't know if,
Yeah.
like, with better coaching or whatever, and maybe they'll get super hooked into baseball. And
Can we call out
A few years
can
later.
Can we do another call out on our 10th grade coaches? Or should we leave that on? So yeah,
Sure.
you mentioned coaching. Well, if you want to talk about coaching, and we're not going to mention any names, but then the coaching is what it sets.
it sets a tone for
yeah, it sets
an
a tone.
atmosphere for the team.
Yeah, it's kind of the coaching kind of put in place all the bad things about our team chemistry,
Yeah.
like the blame, like the just lack of care, that happened during that 10th grade season. It was just they just promoted like not good values
Yeah, when you have a coach that has no idea what's going on
and doesn't
you
care
really-
to know what's
yeah,
going on.
yeah,
Then
you
you're just
can't really have a good team, and it's just also gives the players like a common target for
Yeah.
blame.
yeah.
And I guess it's just players when we start losing, last year, players just stop
turn
blaming
into-
themselves. They turn to the coach.
Especially the Concordia game.
Especially-
Concordia game, we
yes.
can all say was a total coach's decision. That was a terrible decision.
But instead of saying to ourselves, maybe
That was
we
a-
could do better. Maybe we could have trained more. And
They
gotten
say that
better.
was this person's
Coach's
fault, and then yeah.
yeah,
And I think this year we definitely moved away from that.
yeah.
And I think
With
that
a
was
completely
good.
new coaching staff.
Yeah. And a new groundskeeping crew.
I mean, also like you kind of you just gotta compare because it's hard to compare because we're in Asia and it's
Yeah.
different and teachers move around more. But like in the States, it's guys that are high school baseball coaches are. I mean that is their main focus. Like sure they might be a teacher, but honestly I don't believe they care about their teaching job as much as they do the baseball team. Like that's literally what they're there for, and they'll stay
Yeah, it's
they'll
their
stay there
career.
for up to 20 years. And they obviously have seen guys come through, and they understand what works, and it's just like hard to keep a continuous staff at an international school where teachers move.
Yeah, they have to move.
Yeah, and it's just
They're always
the
moving.
coaches are not specialized. Where when you have schools in the
Yeah.
States and Japan, just they're looking for high school baseball coaches,
Yeah.
not just teachers who can coach.
Yeah.
It's a lot more specialization there because the culture is there, the competition is there,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
resources
yeah.
are there.
Like my high school team in the States, we had 5 coaches, right? So we've got the head coach, so he head coaches varsity. They have a pitching coach. They also have the JV head coach, JV assistant coach, and then there's a freshman head coach. So obviously, like, there's guys, and they move along between coaches, but like
That
those
main staff
coaches don't
always stays
move.
there.
The staff is there, and I mean they're not 6-year-old dudes right now, or at least, but like they're knowledgeable about the game, and they're helping us, and I think it's coming around here.
I think we kind of got a small glimpse of that because we had
Bob Wang.
not that, but like by way of volunteering, we're getting proper coaching staff solely. But like, it shouldn't come down to in the States. It doesn't come down to volunteering. They already have a full coaching
Yeah.
staff set in place, and like it's not like they're not. We don't really have the opportunity to have a full
Yeah,
staff set in
yeah.
place, so
There's
it's
no
not
resource.
like there's no fault on that. But there is still that difference.
Yeah, I guess it helps to some degree when you have coaches like Bob Wang, where you come from the outside that are professional baseball coach, but the culture here is we don't have that many baseball coaches, in Asia. Well, not in Asia, but like in China that you can hire and find. It's difficult, but having a specialized coach definitely helps. And
Yeah, for sure.
it's just different because we're in China. And, already I'm really grateful that I'm able to play baseball here in China because we play in like one of the fewest, like one of the only school with a
China.
proper baseball field
And baseball team and baseball program.
Team. Yeah. It's just there's not a lot of baseball fields in China.
We can be lucky that we have still a program
Yeah,
because
yeah.
with the
We have
like we said, with
equipment
the
and
loss
all
of
and everything.
participation,
Yeah,
though, also
yeah.
came like some programs.
Yeah, when we see like WAB, their team just died out.
Yeah, their team was never good, but
Yeah, but it's
they
just
just
not there
completely died
anymore.
out.
Yeah, especially when we're talking about China. I'm just
Yeah, I
zero
mean,
baseball.
winning plays a large role in winning is success, right? So, I mean, I think that WAB team, they didn't have a whole lot of success, and so participation is not going to get there. And ISB hadn't had a whole lot of success, and I'm sure participation was down in those years. And honestly, we could have ended up where WAB was. I
Yeah,
think it's a possibility.
definitely helps that we have a field in place,
Yeah.
so that even when
Designated space.
yeah, you're not going to spend that much money to try to just take this field down. You can just try to still make a team there or something.
Yeah, I think. Also, though, like you said, we're in China. Like there are less opportunities, but there's still that opportunity of baseball, and the fact I think it's pretty amazing that we put together a team that went that far in APAC,
Yeah.
given the circumstances. We have the facilities and everything, but in the past years it just hadn't come together, and luckily for us it came together this year. But like when you look at other schools that are more baseball centric, like Hong Kong, and their culture kind of revolves around it because they're more Americanized than our school, right? And it makes it easier for them.
Yeah, it's a lot
in
more
a way.
foreign influence there.
Because, for example, like when Grace and I went to APAC Baseball in Hong Kong, after a game we had to wait, right, for our home stays before we went home. And since Crims was his home stay, then we had to wait for the whole baseball game, right? That was like, when was that? January? February?
Yeah.
January. So they're still playing in January. They played through the whole season. The legend or the myth or whatever about the Hong Kong plays year-round is pretty true. And we do sort of have those opportunities. We don't necessarily play through winter, but we have spring ball and fall ball, right? But I think the thing is the participation over there amongst their varsity players in their off-season leagues is just greater than ours. And that ties back into the competitive drive, right?
Yeah.
And who wants it more. And I think for now they want it more.
And it's just a matter of how much resource you can get, You can only get this much competition here in Beijing and this many teams to play against. We don't have other high school teams to play with.
We talked to them. They said they're like pretty secluded, right? But because they're still Asian country, they don't get a lot of competition. But I mean, they're invited to a lot more tournaments than us, and they can put together those teams because they already have the teams put in
they're
place.
further down south.
Yeah,
They're closer to other countries.
like Thailand.
Yeah, it's easier to just travel around there.
So, with one more question, and I know we've already talked about this because I like to revert back to things we've already talked about. The future of ISB baseball, what does it look like? And the future actually of just ISB sports in general. Is it a good future or is it a declining future? A declining sports participation, a declining school spirit and environment around that? What does the culture of sports look like for ISB in the future?
I think it's probably going to decline with how much distraction technology gave us. You can have a lot more fun just staying at home than just being out there. The culture's not there anymore. I think it's a global phenomenon that technologies make people lazier. We're a lot less stronger than people back then without technology. But I guess technology also helps with specialized training. If you want to be an athlete, it helps you more. But it also distracts most people away, so you won't want to play sports. So I think it's just a generation thing.
I think for right now it's gonna be a flat line, but like specifically like there's gonna be sports going to come up and there's gonna be sports that are declining. So I don't know. It's hard to predict.
Well, with that, we're gonna wrap up the second episode of
The
Hou
Hou
Show.
Show.
Yeah, Hou Show, baby.
So
Shout out ISB Athletics and go Dragons.